Hello, I'm Austin, and today I wanted to talk about Sorry We're Closed. This is an incredible horror game with unique combat and amazing writing. It is a very thoughtful game that is fun from start to finish. I can't sing its praises enough. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite games of this year. I'm a sucker for unique games, especially when they are supplemented with strong writing. It's full of fantastic characters you can choose to help or not help as you try to break the curse and stay alive. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to hear about more awesome games. Let me know what you think about this game or just talk about your favorite games of the year so far in the comments below. With that out of the way, let's talk about Sorry We're Closed, the best aspect, and its most unique. Its combat. Sorry We're Closed is third person with fixed camera angles. The combat, however, goes into first person and has an arcadey flair to it. Not only does this make combat far more satisfying and engaging than something you would expect with fixed camera angles, but it also adds another level of exploration to the world. You can go into first person at any time during the levels, look around for items and secrets. I was constantly using this to further explore the environment, and it makes for a very believable world. Fixed camera angles have never been my favorite thing, but I think they work very well with its combat to offer different levels of view. Not only is the combat first person, but it borrows a lot from arcade games. During combat, Michelle can open her third eye. This will briefly stun enemies and expose their hearts. This serves as weak points, and shooting them will quickly take out enemies, allowing you to save ammo and build up Heartbreaker, which you use to take out enemies your normal weapon will only knock out or take on bosses. This comes with a drawback, however. Your range becomes very limited and you have to hit their weak spots, which makes it easier to miss and enemies will be close enough to attack. Outside of the third eye, you do less damage but can attack from much further away and take out enemies before they get close enough to attack. This trade-off makes combat far more interesting than we usually see from the genre. It adds an extra layer of depth that just goes beyond deciding when to fight enemies and when to run past them. This arcade combat also adds an extra layer of skill as quickly hitting enemy weak points will fill Heartbreaker faster and also stun them so they can't get an attack off to deal damage. Skill is rewarded in a way that makes combat incredibly satisfying in a way you don't often see in this genre. Skill is rewarded in a way that makes combat satisfying and not just something to do to clear enemies. This combat system has a flair that I would love to see expanded upon. It offers such a unique experience you just don't see very often in horror games. Especially since I don't think it takes away from the horror. Panic shooting at enemy weak points, if anything, adds to it. With the combat also comes some absolutely fantastic writing. I'm a big proponent of writing and characters in horror games. When I connect with the characters and world, horror is far more effective because I actually care about what is happening to these people. Sorry We're Closed is full of amazing characters with funny moments and personal connections. I want to help these people. I'm rooting for them all to find love and be happy. It makes the horror elements that much more effective. Even the side characters are fantastic. I went out of my way to make sure I talked to each character every day to see what was going on in their life. A great example of this was a demon in a church seeking repentance. He missed the touch of heaven and thought if he suffered enough in the church, he could prove to God that he deserved to be an angel and go back to heaven. Through talking to him every day, he slowly learned to accept his fate. He couldn't control his transformation into a demon, and he won't be able to control his transformation back into an angel if that ever happens. Instead, he learned to live his life, to accept what he is and not let it drag him down. Seeing that growth over the course of a game, it was incredible in a way few character growth moments are. And that was just a side character. These characters are all placed in an incredible world. It's a small area in London where you become familiar with the shops and those who visit them. Your friend Marty runs the record shop where he will teach you about demons. Oakley runs the diner with his chaotic boyfriend who wishes to change to become better for Oakley, but is generally a rough person. He wants to be someone Oakley can be proud to show off to his parents. Robin is your best friend who you discovered is actually a demon in love with an angel who hangs out with Marty at the record shop. The only downside is I don't spend enough time here. I wish the game was longer and deeper in this aspect. I love the city and its denizens, and I just wanted more of it. That said, me craving more of a game should be a telling sign of just how good it is. My main complaint is I want more. I'm just a total glutton for good games. You can spend more time in the city by chasing the multiple endings. I've only done one ending so far, but I'm certainly going to keep playing to explore the endings the other characters offer. The game is short enough that I don't find this to be a chore. It is a game that was designed to be replayed. The characters and gameplay are more than enough to be worth replaying. All of the characters fascinate me, and I want to see which fate for Michelle could be the best. She's a fantastic protagonist, and I want the best for her. I want her to succeed and be happy. I guess now is a good time to talk about the story. The story follows Michelle as she deals with a devastating breakup that she never really recovered from. She ends up being cursed by a demon known as the Duchess, who is seeking love to help fill the gap of heaven. The relationship between demons and angels is one of the more interesting ones I've ever seen. Demons crave the light of heaven. They miss the angelic connection they lost when they were cast out. That said, they aren't necessarily evil. They can love and be loved, but it comes at a cost. An angel and demon will weaken if they're together too long, until they both become mortal. They will just become human and lose their angelic connection and power altogether. It's a very creative depiction, and it bucks the normal good versus evil you often see with this. Michelle ends up learning more about her friends, demons, and angels. She is faced with several options and people willing to help her. Does she help Lucy, who will help her get her back with her ex and escape the curse at a price? Or an angel, who perhaps help her change Duchess into being someone worth loving? Or stick with your best friend, who will help you break the curse and just go back to how things were? There are even more options than these, and they all have pros and cons. You can help some people on a single run, but others go against each other and require separate runs. The story is simple, but the writing and characters are so good, it makes it very effective. Speaking of effective, the level design works really well here. They are open enough to offer explanation without being too confusing that a lack of a map ever becomes a real problem. They're generally pretty small, but very densely packed areas. These levels also offer a handful of optional objectives that reward exploration. You can be on the lookout for artifacts to sell for yowzas you can spend on upgrades like increased pistol damage, you have bugs to squish, and you have items needed for side quests to keep an eye out for. There's plenty of reason to explore, and the combat and detailed environments make it a complete joy. The environments can vary from an abandoned aquarium to a church crypt. They all tend to be dark and gray, but they do offer unique puzzles and bring their own ideas. From the pump puzzles in the aquarium to movement puzzles in the crypt, each location has its own unique ideas. I'd like to see a bit more variety when it comes to looks, but overall each location is fantastic. It does help that each location is essentially two. Whenever you use your third eye, it reveals the location around you and can completely change what it looks like. Alongside attacking enemies, this is also used for solving environmental puzzles. It does help add a unique flavor and flair to each location. With all that, I hope I adequately explained why you should play Sorry We're Closed. This is a unique horror game with fantastic writing that is just fun to play. The combat is unique, and I would really love to see it expanded upon in the future. This is a great cast of characters that I love. Engaging with. I've only done the one ending so far, but I'm already ready for more. This is a game that is absolutely worth replaying. It's just that good. This is easily one of the best horror games I've played this year, and one of the best games in general that I've played this year. I had an absolute blast, and you should absolutely play I'm Sorry We're Closed. There's so much to love here that I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and leave a like. Comment down below with your thoughts on the game or your favorite games of the year so far. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.